Okay.
Cool.
Chris,
We're
are we
live.
live?
Yes, we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again. It's Will from The Hive and Knuckles Up with.
Chris.
That's right. We are here. We are live on Instagram and live on YouTube with none other than the Shark himself, Andrei Shark.
Hello,
Andrei,
people.
welcome,
Hi.
welcome, welcome. How are you feeling, brother? You are
Thank
officially
you.
live to the entire arm wrestling world because you have a big match coming up, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about the match, but unfortunately got sick. So kind of came on Sunday for practice, but couldn't pull.
Mm,
Just did couple sets and then just stopped. Didn't feel good, like felt dizzy.
mm.
I lost my smell, so I guess it's COVID. So so
Yeah, there's a lot of
a
lemon
good
going
beginning,
around.
good beginning.
Hey, that's
Mhm.
okay. Every prep has a little bit of bumps, right? But obviously, as we just mentioned, you have a big match coming up against Ryan Bowen coming from Australia, coming over the pond, right?
Mhm.
Now, you yourself, obviously, originally coming from Russia, now living in the beautiful state of Florida. I am jealous
Yes.
of the beautiful weather that I'm sure you were always living in. But Ryan is, I know you were on the live last week. He is very excited for this match, and he is not taking it lightly. And as we have seen in the comment section, a lot of people think it's a mismatch and that you're going to just absolutely annihilate Ryan Bowen. So, how are you feeling? Obviously, we know you're sick a little bit, but in terms of this matchup, how do you feel about it?
I think he has like more experience, definitely more like super matches on his back than me. I had
Hmm.
also maybe like 3 or 4 matches right hand only, and like around 9 matches left hand.
Hmm.
So yeah, I kind of less experience on my right than him, definitely. Um, I feel strong. Like even like couple weeks ago, I tried to like check my strengths, like did some PR, and I actually was stronger than I was a month ago when like I prepare for the competition. So I don't know. I guess I'm in a good shape. I hopefully this sickness not gonna mess up. But yeah,
No.
we still have like what six weeks like of good training, I believe. Because
Yep.
on Thursday I'm going to cruise, so I'm not gonna train for another until next week. So I'm
Gotcha.
kind of chilling until next week. Hopefully, I'm gonna get better and gonna start preparation. It's gonna be 6 week like of hard training. I think it's gonna be enough for me.
No, definitely, definitely. I mean, 6 weeks, you can definitely make some strength training, some improvements. Now, obviously, just coming off of a big win against Emil,
Mhm.
right, at the
That's right.
Challenger Series. So, congratulations on that. That was
Yeah,
a
thank you. Yeah,
dominant performance, to say
Mhm.
the least.
Yes.
Um,
And the round robin
oh,
out in
that's
Arizona
right.
State, that
That's
was super dominant
right.
as well. Yep.
That's
yeah.
right.
I was
So,
yeah, I was surprised actually about round robin. I wasn't sure. Like I didn't even think that I can win it. Because it was a lot of issue before. Like just was
Mhm.
first like was like little financial problems and
mm,
some health problem.
Oh my
But
God.
but in the end, I was like really surprised, like how I
mhm.
finish.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
essentially, right. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. Like, you are now basically the top 198,
220.
220, sorry, in the
Mhm.
country.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, he took down pretty much everyone with
Pretty
ease. I
much
mean,
everybody, Andre. I
yeah,
mean,
it was.
what's in the water? Give me some.
Yeah.
What's happening? Is it
Yeah.
well? Also, we'd like to also thank you, of course. Andre and Arm Shark are a very proud sponsor of Knuckles Up 4. We
Mhm.
thank you so much for that. And you know, just like you did on the first card, you might have to look at all of your, fellow athletes and be like,
Yeah.
well, the reason why I'm getting so strong is you should be using the tools that you've now been given.
Yes, that's true.
But we thank you
yeah.
very much for that. So, guys, if you are in need of any form of arm wrestling tools, obviously go to Arm Shark. He has some of the best equipment in the business. Clearly, it's working.
Mhm.
But yeah, 220 dominant in the United States. So, this obviously this is an international match, and let's look into the future. Let's look ahead a little bit. Let's say this match goes the way you want it to. You take down Ryan Bowen. Who do you want next?
I mean, someone probably not from US again, like someone else, maybe
Mhm.
another champion of like any countries. I mean, it would be great,
Mm.
you know. But I don't really have a names, you
Mhm.
know.
Interesting. So I guess to that topic, before we jump off from the whole Ryan Bowen match, do you have anything specific that you are doing to prep for that match? I know Ryan alluded to it during the last live stream, but kind of practicing the press for his King's move, perhaps?
Yeah, so first I'm gonna do probably on practice. I'm gonna ask my guys to get to this position and just I'm gonna try, to see what's going on. This Sunday I tried. Was super hard. It was like something new. Like, of course, I didn't feel really well,
Mhm.
so maybe that was a point. But yeah, it's definitely what I have to, work in this like next weeks.
Mm.
It's on practice, and also like in a training, I have couple exercises which I can add to my routine. It's one of transition to press, and another one he mentions in some video or somewhere. So when I gonna try to go side pressure, my wrist gonna bend this way. So I created some exercise which can help me to maintain this like side pressure, flat wrist. So hopefully, it's gonna work.
Mm.
No, yeah. I mean, I think it will, obviously, but he definitely comes with his bag of tricks, we'll
Mhm.
say, right?
Mhm.
Ryan, like you had mentioned, he's a very accomplished arm wrestler, lots of experience under his belt, especially in this arena, right?
Mhm.
Super matches,
Yeah.
wearing out his opponent. He had that incredible match. What's the gentleman's name? I'm forgetting it, from India, from the Pro Panjali.
Mazahir Saidu.
Thank you, from
Yeah.
Mazi here. What an incredible, grueling match, right? And he's no joke as well. So I think the matchup is exactly where it should be, right? Andre, you're coming in big, strong, dominant in terms of bicep pressure and keeping that knuckle up. You like what I threw in there? And just maintaining height. Obviously, he's going to be relying on his King's move and seeing where he can do. But I'm excited about the match. I'm excited that you're coming back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You
Thank you
know,
guys. Yeah, for the opportunity.
of
Yeah,
course, of
of
course.
course.
And we know, obviously you just said you're a little sick. A lot of people didn't know that you weren't obviously actually feeling very well with
Mhm.
your last match. So I think that may have been a little bit different
Mhm.
if you were at 100%. So now we're gonna get, hopefully, full blown Andrei
Mhm.
Shark taking a bite out of the competition. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. But just want to say we have a few awesome people in the chat. I saw Sean Latimer, Mindaugas Dalskis is in here. Anybody else?
Yeah, Marcia was in here. We had a Roar Arm Wrestling. Appreciate the kind words, brother. And yeah, Pablo was in here as well earlier, and so is
Oh,
Tim Talmadge, one of the hosts of our qualifiers out there in Arizona coming up.
that's right. That's right. Now, Andre, a very important question that we're asking everybody is, obviously you're coming September 14th, Knuckles Up 4. It's going to be absolutely incredible. But what are you doing in March? Because the Arnold Classic is coming back, and we are trying to set up for elite pullers such as yourself. We want some super matches. We want some round robins. We want some money down on the table.
Mhm.
So you might want to keep
I
March
mean,
open because
it's gonna be on the main stage, right? It's
Mhm.
that's it. That's correct. So for the tournament itself, it'll be on the main stage, but the actual we actually are going to be having a 10x30 booth with a stage itself in the middle with 100,000 people walking around. It's going to be absolutely crazy.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty nuts.
Interesting. So
Do I need
Levi,
qualifier to be part of the event?
no.
You do not. You do not. So what we're doing is we've noticed that before with other organizations with their qualifiers
Mhm.
that there's a little bit of gatekeeping going on, right? Like sometimes you'll see some of these elite pullers pulling to qualify for we'll just say it is what it is East versus West, but why do they need to qualify? Like they've already been there, done that, right? So what we're doing is we want to create opportunities for those up and coming pullers, right? Who are, people who maybe not be known yet or just haven't made it to that level
Right.
to compete and then win a chance to pull it knuckles up. And then for people such as yourself, Ryan Bowen is in the chat. Watch out, it's going to get crazy. And we want to give an opportunity for you guys to make some money, to get some dream matches you've always wanted, and put all you guys together with your own Arnold Classic Super Series. So we have some really cool things in the books. I just want to make sure you got March wide open.
I like to come to Arnold, so I'm in.
Yeah,
awesome.
Definitely. We're gonna have to make that happen for sure.
So we do have a question in the chat from Levi and Savage Arm Wrestling. He's curious, what do you think about after Ryan Bowen Apostle match with Frodo Hoagland? I know he's around the 198 class, but he has a sick, like, same side pressure, open kind of like it's like his elbows made of titanium.
My plan is not to drop weight anymore because I kind of feel good at like 100, minimum 100, like 220 or but even better like 230 pounds. So
Okay.
if he wants to pull me, like, whatever, I mean, but I'm not gonna drop weight to 200 pounds. That's for sure.
I've noticed that it's pretty common now too with a lot of these guys. It's not to mention, I mean, coming from a sport where I've also competed in dropping weight yourself too. You were once before an arm wrestler, you were a wrestler. Doing those weight cuts can get a little dangerous, can get a little dicey, and you never truly come in as strong as you could, right? So like, let's stay big, let's stay full, and let's stay where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, and I think one thing that
I did many times the in-body test, like before, like preparation and after, and always like so when I dropping weight, I'm losing muscle mass.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
and like I don't see a really point of it. So actually, I need to keep gaining, get stronger. This is main idea, not like try to like drop and fit in the class. It's, I don't know, just because my body fat already like 4.5%, so it's like just unhealthy, I guess, for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And how old are you now, Andre, again?
37.
Yeah, so you're really like falling into your stride into the strongest years of your life, right? 35 to 45, all those muscles start to mature. You're going to get stronger and stronger and stronger by the year. So why keep trying to, kill those gains? Just embrace them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's also like you see, like you were alluding to earlier, I think the way the sport is going, you want to see the person at the best they possibly could be at. And I think sometimes, to your point, Andre, losing the weight, yes, you're pulling with lighter guys that don't have the same max power, but you're also kind of losing a little bit of strength too. So yeah.
Shout out to another one of our sponsors, Free Sleeve.
Oh yeah.
Love these suckers.
Oh, I use them every day.
Yeah.
Like I have 2 of them, so I put every night like for 10-15 minutes. So good.
Oh, I love them. They're so great. But yeah, no, I'm really excited about this match. I think it's a good matchup stylistically, and also you guys both have great personalities, right? Andre, you're the suave, sleek Russian Floridian who's got a 6-pack all year round. Ryan, a little interesting, we'll put it that coming from down under. He was bigger, he was skinnier, he's fat, he's this, he's that, but he's coming in hot. So, guys, if you haven't already figured out, September 14th, Knuckles Up 4, it's going down. It's going to be
Do we guys have a weight cap for this match? Because, like, I don't know, we didn't actually talk about it.
So from what I'm from understanding, right, I believe we do not do. Yeah, we don't. We're wide open. So cool with you if you want to coming in at 250 pounds. And Ryan, from what we heard obviously in the last podcast, Ryan is, I don't want to say he's losing weight per se, but he's recomping, right?
Yeah, he's not really trying to cut.
He's not really don't worry much. I'm 223 pounds in the morning was today, so I'm pretty, light.
Yeah.
Not too far from you, so
exactly. So I think it's going to be. I didn't expect, Andre. You're not the type of guy to get fluffy. It's not really an off season for you. It's a lifestyle, right? So you're always in good shape, walking around, and I think Ryan just wants to be in the same place. It just might be slightly lighter than that. So yeah, I mean, we've also noticed that with a lot of the matches that we have in Knuckles Up, we don't we want, like we said, we want you guys to come in at your best, right? And so if these two athletes agree to be at their best, boom, it happens, right? Very rarely do we see that there's a very significant weight that we have to set people at. So Pablo, what does he have so far? Pablo, we have way more than 3 matches confirmed. You got to pay attention, my man.
No, he's also getting ready for his match. I understand he has a huge left-hand match coming up against Cody Merritt.
That he does.
But yeah, so I guess in terms of, catching up the people in the chat in terms of matches that we have confirmed, obviously we have Bowen and Andre. We also have Toshiyuki and Heta Morris coming over.
Jason Merlo.
Yep, Jason Merlo is another match that we're going to announce possibly later on today, which is a really exciting one.
We didn't
have
announce that one yet. I'm sorry. Watch out.
Plemon is pulling Mario. That's another big one. And yes, I want to say there's one more. Oh, so we did have to make a slight change to the Setvon match, which we're going to be releasing very soon. But that's a really exciting one. You're going to have another one of your kind of home, like, town heroes in our backyard pulling, again, one of the best to ever do it. So stay tuned.
Yeah. And Pablo, if you're still here, man, January Knuckles Up 5. You wanna get down with the Purple Town? Just let us know. I know Andre's excited to get back. Ryan, everybody's itching. I want to get back on the table. We got to get this. Yeah. Andre, shouldn't this guy, right? He should have a super match, right?
I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I guess it's too hard to promote and and compete in the same time. I mean,
yeah, exactly,
Andre, you're not putting enough pressure on this guy. Okay,
you completely understand.
He needs more pressure. He already won Winter Blast this year, so 176 right arm champ.
Hey man,
we'll just get you back down to 176, and he's going to destroy some people. But that's okay. We'll see that.
Are you guys planning to come to Orlando for East West to watch or no?
So we're going. Unfortunately, the week before we're going to be at the
Sarah Backman Classic. Yeah.
So unfortunately, the back and forth is a little rough, but we'll be watching from our homes. Again, huge supporters, but we won't be able to go in person.
So you're competing both of you?
Actually, I don't know.
I don't know. Are you?
I think we're just
Am I?
I don't know. We've been a little
planning on doing something.
Yeah, we'll see.
But we'll see. I don't know. What's that gentleman that was in the Challenger Series? I can't remember his name because it doesn't matter.
Oh, what they call it? Carl Stanley.
No.
That was the one that Mikey was saying that you would possibly pull.
No, that was the other guy, the super heavyweight. His name isn't Carl Stanley. Is it Carl Stanley?
I'm not sure.
Andre, who was at the Challenger Series? He's a super heavyweight that was there, and he won from Florida.
Brett Grandy, I
mean. I gotta look. You see, that's
Matt King. Matt King.
No, is it?
Oh yeah, he was there also.
Matt King, Brett Grandy won.
Yeah, Brett Grundy was also super strong.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll pull it up here just because I'm gonna sound like an asshole.
Dane was there.
Yeah, Dane. I felt bad for Dane. I know he's been doing really great lately. But hey, first time on the main stage.
No, Paul Passmore. Isn't Paul Passmore from Florida?
Maybe he from Georgia, I think.
Yeah, from Georgia.
Because I thought they said Paul was going to be at the Sarah Backman Classic.
Possibly, I'm not sure.
Come on, Paul, I'm coming for you, bro.
Yeah, Paul's super
he'll
strong
fuck
right
me
now,
up. No, we'll see, Andre. We're excited. I'm still coming back from my. I have a tear in my labrum, like right where the bicep attaches on my right arm. My left feels pretty good, but we'll see. We'll see how Chris feels. Can you lose 15 pounds in 2 weeks?
Possibly. We'll see. I don't know if it's worth it because we also have this pay-per-view coming up. But
yeah, no, we're both excited. Andre, I can tell you that we will both be competing in Tennessee in December.
Ray's national invitational.
Yeah, so we're definitely gonna be there in December. So we're definitely getting ready for that. But as for the Sarah Backman Classic, we'll see how I feel when we land and all that type of stuff. If they want to get hurting from the big old Greek over here, But no, I'm excited. Anybody in the chat?
Yeah, so Mike G did have a question. He was asking about Beck in terms of him canceling the match. Yeah, so unfortunately, he did end up having to back out. He ended up having a huge tear in his elbow. I believe he was competing at the Japanese nationals, and that's where that ended up happening. But Pablo also did have a question. So we do have, I want to say, a total of like 8 matches that we have confirmed or just about confirmed for KU4 that we're about to, round up. Possibly in the next few weeks, you guys will be hearing it. And we do have some other big names in the chat. We got Ryan Espy stopping by saying what's up.
Oh, man. Good old Ryan Espy, our northern brethren.
Yes. Also, you guys, December 7th, there's going to be a qualifier up in Winnipeg. We're getting the details after that soon. So if you want to qualify for the Arnolds in Canada, he's one of the people to reach out to.
Yep. It's going to be absolutely exciting. And down by Andrei, right? Have we announced that qualifier yet?
Yeah, we have. Yep,
we have, right?
Yeah. With Mikey O, and I think they called it the Southern Regional qualifier.
Yep. So it'll be definitely a fun and exciting time. But now, Andrei, like you said, you're going to be a little bit of different styles in your training. So you're going to be going away this week. What is the end game for you, right? So with a lot of these arm wrestlers that we talk to, they're like, I just want to keep getting better, blah, 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 all that type of stuff. Do you have the goal of being, the best, 220 arm wrestler in the entire world? Are you just trying to
it would be great. I mean, it would be amazing. And I hold the title, hold the belt,
Yes. Okay. That's what I was curious about, because, a lot of us, it's, I just want to be the best in my state. I want to be the best in my region.
I think like 105, maybe that's, like good weight for me, 105 kilos.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, because I think sometimes, talking to other pullers, it's one about like rankings, but also like specific matchups.
Sure.
Like I think eventually, obviously, like yourself, it's tough because the rankings, the sport is like styles make the matchups. So it's tough. Like, does that really mean you're not as good as somebody just because stylistically you don't do as well? You know what I mean? So they kind of look at who would be a good style matchup for them as well.
Yeah, exactly. Which is exciting. I mean, everybody has that one person they want to pull, right? Like, I'll ask you that, Andrei. Is there a dream match?
Pull, left hand, I would pull Lachlan from Australia.
Oh, okay. See, there we go.
There's something we could
left.
definitely.
Left.
Come on, why not on the right? Come on.
Later.
Yeah,
later.
Do you
after
feel
Ryan? Yeah.
Do you feel there's a big difference between your right and left? Like, would you say?
Oi?
Oh, would you say there's like a really big difference between your right and your left?
No, they're pretty even actually. Like,
yeah, because I think sometimes the misunderstanding is you're very even, but the people that you're pulling might have a dominant arm, so it looks like obviously like they're better overall.
Which I think is total bullshit. I think everyone should be pulling on both arms. That's just my opinion. I don't know, Andrei. I don't know how you feel about it, but if you got two and they're both working,
I like proportion. I like balance.
I want to look good when I take my shirt off. I'm working on it though.
It's not only about it. In the future, if you do, guys, I mean, if you're gonna keep training only one side in future, it can cause a lot of issue, like on your neck, on your like shoulders. So it's better to do both.
Yeah, as much as we love what Devin has done, like if you look at the guy, he looks like he's in pain like 90% of the time, right? Like
he's also getting up there in age.
Well, he's getting up there, all the military stuff. But I'm sorry, Devin, if you're watching. I doubt that you are, but I have never been a fan of the pumpkin training, just because I'm a big believer in you should be strong from your toes to the your forehead, right? Like every little bit of muscle, even in your legs, it counts. It works for you on the table if you know how to use it.
Well, after round robin, my glutes were sore, my calves were sore. Like,
that's awesome.
And I think, okay, that's maybe because I didn't train them well, Actually, I zero.
No, it's true. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. I think a lot of the athletes in this sport kind of prioritize that like upper body only dominant training, right? Because they think that's all that's involved. But yeah, it is a full body thing.
Well, yeah, and look, I get the argument when I have to make this weight class, But then again, like you said, I mean, look, we're not asking you to have legs like Jay Cutler walking around. For any of you bodybuilding fans who know that it is, give us a drop in the chat. Having a good set of legs, it helps, right? Pushing against the table. I mean, I remember, Andrei, I'm sure you probably remember this too. Not that long ago, I think it was in WAL, Matt Mass tore his hamstring
Oh yeah, I forget who
or was it
was
his
pulling.
quad?
I think it was his quad,
Yeah.
and he was pulling like Jerry or something like that.
Yeah, and tore it part of it like on
Yeah.
in a match, which is wild, right? But
Yeah.
no, it definitely worked.
Exactly.
But yeah, well, Andre, before we get done here, I just want to say obviously we're super excited about you coming down for your match. I think it's gonna be absolutely great. Ryan
Me
Espy
too.
is talking about how he likes to skip leg day, which I'm very disappointed in you, Ryan. But it's going to be a good time. I'm really excited about it. And I'm sure there's a very big, bright future for you in the world of arm wrestling. Like you said, you're only 37. You got many years in the sport. I'm sure at least another 10 years of absolute dominance. And we're just happy to be able to facilitate a match for you. So,
Yeah, I'm looking for Todd Hutchins. He's like almost 60, so like it's positive. It's
that's a good
positive.
point.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
Kind of very inspirational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
It's gonna be
Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, I'm also really excited. So Ryan, you're gonna feel it.
I don't want any type of that bicep. That thing looks dangerous.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Andre,
Andre.
thank you so much, brother. We're gonna stay on for just a couple minutes and just give them some news on the Arnold Classic and some other things we have going on. But we truly appreciate you coming out, Andre, and we will see you in just a few weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, soon. All right. So sounds good, guys.
Have
See
a
you,
good
brother.
one, Andre. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right, you guys. Well, there you go. There you have it. Andrei Sharkovich in the house. He's going to be absolutely incredible. Going to be pulling against Ryan Bowen. Absolutely crazy. But we have a ton of people in the chat, so I couldn't just end it there. Guys, thank you so much for all the support. Obviously, it's absolutely incredible. We couldn't do it without each and every one of you. I know I can say for the both of us, this is a labor of love, and we just want to keep growing for the sport, for us, for the fans, for everybody. We are super excited about it. But to hear him say at the end, he looks up to someone like, Todd Hutchins is so cool, right? Because he is 60 or just about, right?
I think so. Close, yeah.
And, still obviously an incredible arm wrestler and just doing absolutely nuts things. I hope that when I'm 60, I can still be arm wrestling.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got guys like Crazy George too, right?
Oh,
That
yeah,
are
yeah,
relics and Richard Lupke's that, hopefully we see back on a table in some capacity because he was like the monster when, John was coming into it. So, yeah.
Now, now Greg asked a very interesting question, which I'll address real quick. I couldn't tell if it was a joke or not, but like, how often should you train legs? And like, in all honesty, if you want to be a well-rounded athlete, but specifically you're an arm wrestler, right? I would say train your legs once a week. If you can still at least train your legs once a week, go hard, go heavy. They'll be strong enough, but you won't put on so much size that you have to worry about your weight when you're getting into your weight classes. But did I see a question or a suggestion before that Mendagas Dauskas and Pavlo Derbedenev should be getting into a match? Did I see that?
I don't recall that, but
Maybe that should be a match.
Yeah, that would be a really
hook for hook.
Yeah, especially with Pavlo's bicep, it's kind of wild.
Yeah, that's what
it
I'm
looks
talking
like
about.
Even after surgery, he managed to get stronger. But yeah,
I don't know how he does what he does, but Pavlo is a tank for a reason, and he trains his legs 2 or 3 times a month.
Yeah.
So the guy looks good in a pair of jeans, guys. Come on, you want to be with the best in the world. You want to be like Pavlo. You got to train them legs. But while we have you guys still here live on Instagram and on YouTube, as you just heard, we were here with Andrei Shark, the Sharkovich, the man, going to be playing against Ryan Bowen. But Chris can, if you want to pull up, actually, we'll read off to them one more time where we have Arnold Classic qualifiers for all you who are trying to make it to the Arnold Classic, and then, of course, win yourself a spot at Knuckles Up.
Yep. So if you go to our website, thehigh5aw.com, and you go to the menu, you'll see there's the list of Arnold Classic qualifiers. So coming up in the next month or two, we actually have, if you're in the South Korea region, we have essentially their nationals that's coming up July 20th. And in those drop downs, you'll be able to see essentially the date, location, the host, as well as the link to usually the Facebook event pages, the easiest way to reach out to them. After that, we have August 3rd is the U.S. Fit Games by Arm Sports Entertainment. That's a really good one to go to as well. Then we start going into August 24th. If you're in the Virginia area, the Virginia Arm Wrestling League hosting their qualifier. Then we start going into September, where the beginning of September, we have the 98% a good friend of ours, is hosting their qualifier down in PA. And then upstate New York, our guy Steve Fernandez is going to be hosting his King of the Tri-State. And all these guys, again, we want to highlight these promoters, especially because they're essentially bringing what they're good at to the sport, right? So they have great prizes aside from just the qualifier. That's kind of like the cherry on top. The top 3 of every weight class, left and right hand, end up going to the Arnold, the finals, which are February 28th to March 2nd. And if you're not able to qualify, by all means, stop by the booth. We're gonna have, like Will was saying, tons of activities going on the whole time. It's gonna be great from us.
And I'll be there, so you just want to go.
Yep. And then just to round off the list, we have a few more where we have the Heartland Havoc. That's with the Florida Arm Wrestling Combat. That's going to be September 28th. Details are going to be coming out soon for that one. And then we have their Southern Standoff. That's also coming up too. Sorry, I misspoke. So the Heartland is going to be out in the Indiana area. And then October 5th is going to be the one in Florida, but same host for both. Then later on, we have an opportunity for all the women out there that are interested in qualifying for the Arnolds. And unfortunately, I know it's tough. You're trying to find somebody in a weight class, and we try to have some level of like minimums for classes, just so that you don't just show up and kind of get a spot. But to try to get around that, we have the Super Match Series that Lucky is putting together. So October 5th, if you guys want to tune in, I believe there are still a few slots. You kind of fill out a Google form, and she'll be able to kind of find a matchup for you. Without having to worry about the travel cost. And at the end here of our list in November, so far we do have confirmed the Virginia Arm Wrestling League is having their second qualifier. And then we have the Texas Arm Wrestling League in their Texas States, which is going to be November 16th. So yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Well, while you were reading those out, we do have a super chat from Eric Harlan, which I want to shout out to. So thank you so much for that super chat. And we'll get to that question in one sec. But James, yes, you did miss, man. You were dropping the ball. You missed Bowen. You missed Andre. You got to get on earlier, brother. You got to hit that notification bell, like, comment, subscribe. Sound like a YouTuber because we're trying to make it. But Savage Arm at Levi, you want this left arm? It's yours all day, brother. But Eric Harlan, I believe, gave us a super chat, correct?
Yes. So great question. So Paul Passmore, we did mention earlier, that is a guy that we are talking to. Again, guys, it's not about us not wanting to have matches with these people. It's really just we're limited in terms of, obviously, funds is a big one. We're still starting out. We're trying to make sure that we represent these athletes as best as we can, but also just we don't want to be sitting there for like 12 hours.
Yeah, well, we don't want to do them a disservice, right? So I think one thing that we really focus on, I've said this before, is styles make matches, and we pride ourselves on putting together really good matchups. So we want to make sure that they have an opponent that is at their level or better, so that they can be reaching up. Secondly, we want to make sure it's a good matchup in terms of stylistically. And lastly, if we have 15, 20 matches, right, are we really doing these athletes a service in promoting them and getting their name out there? We want you guys, to have a pay-per-view that's like 2.5, 3 hours long max, where you're enjoying every single match, watching with your buddies at home, get together in a group, and just love every second of it. Be with your club and show off all these up-and-coming or huge name athletes, right? Like you said, we have James Clark in the house. James is going to be the first time coming to our pay-per-view, right? When did we?
I think he said he was going to try to watch,
right?
But I
thought James said he was going to make it out to September 14th.
That's what I'm saying. I think he was going to
try
to watch.
Right.
Yeah.
So James, like, you'll be in person, you'll see it. I know you missed these 2 podcasts, but that's okay. Just come in person and experience what those people are like in person, loving every second of it. But yeah, so Eric, thank you so much for the super chat. But yeah, we're working on getting all these guys, right? Like, we want every single puller, not just in the United States, but across the globe, to experience what we have to offer.
Yeah, and I think one thing that you guys will notice, especially if you've been to the event in person before, is we're trying to make improvements every time. So we're listening to all the comments, and that's a good way to reach us is actually through the membership platform on YouTube. We're going to start having polls to kind of help dictate what we provide you guys, right? Because we know, obviously, with this economy, it's every dollar counts, right? So we really appreciate everything you guys do when you come support us. So one thing that we've heard is, okay, VIPs, what do we get as being a gold member versus silver? So we're in the works. We're trying to make it that, being a gold member, get a little bit extra just to kind of signify that, you are one of the people that front row and center to kind of see the action, right? And then we're going to be releasing soon also our sponsorship package that, you know, if you want to, we had great people like the 98, Paul Italia, and obviously Andre now.
Cracking arm wrestling, free
Cranking,
sleeve, no slap.
So
so many.
They helped us get to this point. So if you want to be part of the action, and you know, we'll put our marketing behind you to help get your name out there as well. Because again, we want to bring everybody up because that's how you get the sport better.
Exactly, 100%. And Levi is mentioning too, you know, we're going to be putting up, you know, secret matches that no one has seen before. They may have heard of them, but no one has seen the footage that happened at both 1, 2, and 3 of the KUs. And yeah, we just appreciate all the love, guys. You know, it means the world to us. You know, we obviously also are just athletes at heart, right? Like we want to get better, we want to get stronger. So yeah, there's a selfish part to it. Like it's great. We get to meet these pullers and get after pull, even though we're focused on doing all the other things. But it's just a great time, guys. If you can be in the area in the tri-state, September 14th, Knuckles Up 4 is going to be wild. And of course, get to an Arnold qualifier near you. It's going to be crazy. But yeah, I'm excited, Chris. I think the sport is moving in the right direction. You know, after having seen what's happening down at the Challenger Series, they're growing the sport. Obviously, East vs. West, really exciting. They're coming over to the United States for the first time. I've even had a little birdie tell me that King of the Table might be coming over here this year. So it's cool. It's exciting. I love seeing it. You know, I love seeing growth of the sport. Obviously, I'm a little biased that, you know, Knuckles Up is the greatest production to ever hit an arm wrestling venue and stage ever.
Yes. Yep.
You know, guys,
we try our best.
We're the best. Period. End of story. I sound like Travis Bajan here. You know, but guys, you got to come in. You got to check it out for yourself. And if you haven't got the pay-per-view before, please do. It's awesome. We really appreciate the support. But one last thing that I did want to touch on, as it is near and dear to my heart, is recovering from your training on the table. So I'm going to shout out, and I think we should do this every single time we have a podcast, is shout out a member on our team. And today's shout out is going to go to Fernando. Now, let me not mess up his last name. Is it Kari?
Yeah.
So this shout out, if you're watching on Instagram, because you might be watching on this Instagram, holy hell, is Monterangi in the chat right now?
Yes, he is. The beast.
The beast himself. I'm going to get back to Fernando in a second. Sorry, buddy. You're going on the back burner because the beast himself, Monterangi Hector Morris, is in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, having a massive match coming up with Toshiyuki Shishido.
Yes, our previous Knuckles Up champion,
who had an absolute incredible match against Ji Hyun Mi from Korea.
Yep.
Right. So he's going to be getting an absolutely amazing match up there. And from what I hear, Toshi is taking this very seriously because if you guys don't know, Toshi is not just the #1 in Japan. He's so #1 in Japan that he really doesn't have anybody to pull against while he's over there, right?
I think similar to Morris. Right?
Exactly.
It's like when you're so strong, it's tough to find people at your level.
Exactly.
So it's awesome that we can kind of bring the beasts together.
We're getting worlds to collide here, right?
Exactly.
We got New Zealand, we got Japan. They're coming in hot. They're big. They're strong. It's going to be an absolute banger of a match. Speaking of banger, obviously the arm wrestler is coming back as well. So we're super excited about that. It's going to be an absolutely incredible night. And I think now is actually a great time. Before I get back to Fernando Kari, the shout out from our team is also just to thank some of our current sponsors. Of course, we have Luigi's Barbershop. We have Arm Shark. We have Sandell Sound. We have No Slap. Paul Italia is on board once again. We thank you so much for that. Who am I forgetting, Chris? Am I missing anybody?
Did you say 98%?
I did not. Yeah. Ryan Grondin, the 98%, has always been an absolute supporter since the beginning. So we thank you guys so much. If you guys haven't, please go and follow them. They're doing amazing things for the sport and for the industry as well. But
and we actually do have another partner in crime, Joe Sandell.
We do?
Actually in the chat.
Wait, that piece of shit joined our live?
Let's not get demonetized.
Oh,
but yes,
man, that just great person. What's up, Joe?
Definitely couldn't do it without him. And for you guys that are, qualifiers across the country,
correct.
We're setting up essentially Joe to be one of the main heads of production to work with these people, right? Because you've already seen what he's capable of when it comes to a pay-per-view setting, and obviously also for our tournament, right? When we had our Knuckles Up qualifier.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
what he can do with a room and transformer is really like second to none. So we can't wait. I think overall the sport benefits from working with Joe.
So if you need somebody, hit up Joe from Sandell Sound. Absolutely incredible. But 2 hour shout out from our team and how that is going to segue into recovering, you'll see in a moment. So one of our amazing athletes on the high five is Fernando Cari. He's 15 years old. He comes from Peru. Thank you very much. I was going to say Ecuador. I knew I was going to mess that up.
No.
Peruvian. That's right. The Peruvians. How could I forget that, right?
Yeah.
Him and his two brothers are absolutely incredible arm wrestlers, but he himself is 15 years old, an elbow of steel, might I add, right? The guy only weighs about 198, and we go to battle. I mean, absolute battle at our practices, and my elbows are 100% feeling it because of it. So how do we recover, right? Guys, how do you get better week to week to week? So as you saw before, I think I can grab one. I love to put on, this is not a shout out as a sponsor. This is just in a serious note. Free sleeves are absolutely awesome. You throw them in the freezer, they get really cold, they wrap around, they get real tight, helps reduce the inflammation and takes the pain away. But actually, more importantly, Chris, and something you taught me when I first became an arm wrestler is getting blood work. Not blood work, getting blood flow to the area when you are training and before and after your workout. So let them know a little bit why that's so important.
Yeah, so I think there's kind of this stigma of like, oh, if I'm arm wrestling, then I just need to completely do nothing when my arms are hurting, which I get, right? Like sometimes the pain in your tendons is so severe that you're like, I don't even want to move or look at my elbows the wrong way. But the misconception is, it's just like your muscles, but worse because there's less blood flow to them, right? So you kind of have to actively work them out. So stretching them, and usually what I'll suggest is like lightweight, high reps. And that's where you kind of have like your deload days, right? So instead of you just not going to the gym and feeling off, like for me, it's like a religion to kind of go and train as much as I can. So going to the gym, work that lightweight, work on the technique, pump out, maybe some people, I've heard people do like 100 reps. You know what I mean? But we're talking about super lightweight just to get as much pump as you can. So that again, it's essentially like going for a run. You're getting all this circulation of blood to the areas that normally wouldn't get it, and it'll help speed up the recovery process.
Because as Chris mentioned, in terms of anatomy, tendons and ligaments have very little bit of blood flow, very small blood vessels that some even get to them. So you need to really force blood into the area. Another one that I like to incorporate is called flossing. Flossing is where you take a rubber band type material, wrap it around a joint, move the joint around a ton. It flushes all the blood out. So then when you release it, fresh oxygenated blood goes back into the area. And something that I've been able to now incorporate into my recovery, because where I work, Signature Fitness, who was a previous sponsor of Knuckles Up, has cold plunges, which is similar, but to a bigger extent of the freeze sleeve, getting your whole body shocked a little bit. And infrared sauna helps release all the toxins. So everything that we do, guys, when we're on the table, when we're in the gym, it creates inflammation. Right. And all of that needs to be released, and all the toxins need to be released so your body can heal and get better. So massive shout out to Fernando Cari, guys. You watch out. Remember the name Fernando Cari. He is 15. He's absolutely incredible. And he's going to be doing some amazing things coming up in the near future. If he is this strong now, just wait till 5 years from now.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's something that we're trying to work on also from like a pay-per-view perspective. Like we understand that there's people from all walks of life and different levels of pulling in the sport that we also want to highlight. So in the near future, that's something we're kind of toying with possibly doing like a teens card, like somebody that's like not up in the like 20s or 30s, but these like up and coming stars that are these like prodigies, right? That, we want to be part of that action because like you said, they're the future of the sport.
Oh man, they're going to be absolutely crazy. And that's the thing that people don't understand is, this is another one I've talked about. So guys, if you're listening and you want to be a better arm wrestler, or if you think into the future, like I know I am, and I know Chris is thinking of this, once you have that baby, you start putting them on the table as soon as they can go. I mean, because what are these, you watch what these Kazakhs are doing, right? They're starting so young, right? And they're building the tendons and ligaments from such a young age that they honestly become like indestructible. Right.
And it's cool because we saw that, I forget who made the documentary, but essentially like they treat it like a whole like.
Oh, that was
like,
Mazurenko.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
Mazurenko made the
crazy.
documentary.
It
Yeah.
was like they're going out doing sprints outside. They're like working out as a team, like on this whole like track and field kind of thing they were doing. I was like, man, that's awesome. I wish they had that in
absolutely
my
crazy. And you know,
Yeah.
like arm wrestlers, you know, they're not just one dimensional, right? You need to learn to be in all dimensions. You know, if you haven't seen before, you guys should check out a series on Netflix called Physical 100 from Korea.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
They have an arm wrestler on their second season
Mhm.
who I'm in this episode 2.
Mhm.
He's still in there, he's doing his thing.
Mhm.
So it really proves to you that you know you can be an all-around good athlete. The arm wrestler of old, of the beard, drinking a wingy in, you know, belly gut. I mean, some of us do still have a belly, but
I'm working on it.
is kind of a thing of the past, right?
Mhm.
I mean, look at people like Petrenko and
Mhm.
Barbosa and Morozov.
Yeah.
Like, they're not just physical freaks; they're also ripped. Andre, right? We just had
Yeah.
Andre on. He's absolutely incredible. He looks like an absolute he was a bodybuilder, right?
Mhm.
So be well-rounded, and you will be a better arm wrestler.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of Marcio, that was actually something that he had told me like years ago that there is also that misconception not only for doing legs but doing cardio. That it's like, oh, people hate running or whatever type of cardio for this sport. But he said like it just like any other sport, you're gonna get winded if you're like overexerting yourself and you don't have that like level of physical fitness, right?
Yeah.
So that's why obviously he's also an iron worker, but that's also why being in shape is really critical.
I mean, if you look at, for example, let's take a great match, and by the way, for any of you guys who are still on here, thank you guys so much for watching. We really truly appreciate it. We love that people are even semi-interested in what we have to say.
Yes, please drop a like.
Yeah, give us a like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. What's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing great. Is you guys all remember the match between Levon and Hermes, right?
Yeah.
Where they ended up being stretchered out, freaking oxygen tanks and all that type of stuff, right? Now we're talking about two of the biggest arm wrestlers in the world, but it really goes to show you that their cardiovascular system just can't keep up with the body that they've created, right? And I imagine if they did have better cardio, that whole match would have been decided way quicker.
Yeah, and I think it was really a testament. I think more to Levon's lack of cardio and like overall fitness versus Hermes being more well-rounded.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean, and I think actually you had pointed it out too. He ended up losing weight, and I think that's why he just looked overall better when he pulled Devin the second time. You know what I mean? I think he realized that.
Now, am I not recognizing the name here on that chat here? I don't want to even pronounce the name of Borjon is the epitome of the athletic arm wrestler. Greek god, has all the physical tools.
No, I was just joking. Evan Burgoyne. Yeah, he well actually we've talked with him before. He pulled out Arm Gods before. He's from Canada. He actually pulled
I'm better with faces, guys. If you haven't noticed, I'm much better with faces.
I believe Roger learned.
Wait, is Evan Beerman?
Yeah.
Oh, get the hell out of here. I'll beat that guy any day of the week.
I don't know. He's pretty strong from what I hear.
Pretty strong.
But I think he pulled Roger Lane at Winter Blast like 2 years ago now.
On the right arm?
Yeah.
Because I'll take Roger's money. Roger, if you're listening, right arm all day, bro.
I also pulled Roger, and he's really strong too. So
I will say, as we talked about earlier with Andre, Roger is someone. I'm sorry, not Roger. I'm also thinking about. I'll take Roger any day of the week. But I'm thinking about why am I forgetting his name? He changed his Instagram to Mastodon.
It's Uncle John.
Uncle John, thank you. Uncle John, he is someone who, like, Uncle John's right is strong, like real strong.
Oh yeah, but his
left is like it's in another stratosphere. Like it doesn't feel like the same human being.
Yeah, and one thing that like obviously you guys will see when you go to our events in person, it's very different watching these people on TV than actually meeting them because like Uncle John, like obviously you've seen him on like podcasts and like compete, but like the way he's built.
Oh, dude, like, he doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's like I can only imagine his ape index, but also just like he's
no,
built.
It's not just that. Like, so I've had the privilege of meeting people from all walks of life in this industry, right? I've met the strongmen, I've met the bodybuilders. I can confidently say that I have never seen someone built more like an action figure.
Yeah.
Than John. Uncle John is like it's not just his clavicles are so wide.
Yeah, that's
and his
what it
shoulders and arms are so developed compared to the rest of his body. Now the guy's got legs. I mean, he's got a big old pair of legs too. But like he literally looks like, I don't know if you guys remember, there was those like shark action figures back in the day, those jacked sharks.
Merlot collects them.
Yeah, okay, those ones. That's what he looks like. Uncle John is one of those sharks. That's exactly what he is.
That's funny. Built like a caveman. Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. But guys, thank you guys so much for joining in tonight. We truly appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If you missed it, we had Andrei the Shark Sharkovich in the house on the chat doing amazing things. He's going to be playing Ryan Bowen from Australia. We talked a little bit about the Arnold Classic qualifiers, which are coming to a town and region near you. So get down for that. Of course, think about it. If you'd really like to get involved and become a premium member of our YouTube, we're going to have some awesome giveaways, some polls, some secret footage that nobody knows about there. And of course, we just appreciate all the support. So guys,
yes,
we'll see you next week with another one of our very exciting athletes, but also stay tuned. We're going to be posting a picture of the medals for our Arnold Classic qualifier. So